Welcome to a new video from English Plus Podcast. Today we're going to talk about the editorial that I wrote every week for my English Plus magazine. By the way, you can find the English Plus magazine on my website, englishpluspodcast.com. So the editorial for today is about how critical are you really? So let's dive into it. And it's a thought-provoking, or at least a thought exercise for you. And I would love to have your comments and your opinions in the comment section below. So, how critical are you really? Have you ever caught yourself scrolling through an article, a video, a post, just to see what's wrong with it? Maybe you've mentally circled an error or thought of how you would have done it better. We've all done that. And that's fine until it's not. Because here's something to think about. When we focus on finding flaws, we risk missing the bigger picture. Are we engaging in critical thinking, or are we just, criticizing? It's easy to blur the line between healthy critique and criticism for criticism's sake. The difference lies in our intention and approach. Critical thinking is about analysis and understanding, getting to the core of what we're reading, watching, or listening to. It's about asking questions, being open-minded, and allowing ourselves to see value even if it's not perfect. On the other hand, when we focus solely on flaws, we're not really thinking critically. Instead, we're filtering everything through our own expectations and, in some cases, waiting for an excuse to pounce. We live in a time where it's easy to find a platform and share opinions freely. But with that freedom comes a certain responsibility. We have a choice. We can use our voice to build up or tear down. So there's the question. Do we have a responsibility to commend the good in the things we see, hear, or read online? After all, it's so much easier to point out the mistakes than to recognize what took effort, creativity, or skill. Now, take a moment to think about it. When you see a piece of content online, how often do you notice the positive aspects? Is there an innovative idea, a fresh perspective, or even just good old-fashioned hard work that shines through? Praising these elements can be just as meaningful, if not more, than zeroing in on what didn't work. Now, let's talk about how this can affect other people. Now, when criticism online crosses a line, it often edges into the territory of cyberbullying. People invest time, energy, and sometimes even a piece of themselves in what they create. Constant negativity, especially from those who don't create anything themselves, can be hurtful and unfair. Imagine putting your heart into something, only to have it dismissed or even ridiculed by someone who might not fully appreciate the process. In a world filled with self-appointed critics, perhaps the more valuable skill is learning to balance constructive feedback with appreciation. It's perfectly fine to notice areas for improvement. That's part of growth. But let's also recognize that celebrating what's good is not only encouraging for others, but also enriching for ourselves. When we shift from pure criticism to balanced feedback, we become more thoughtful, compassionate, and genuinely insightful individuals. So next time you're about to hit comment or share your thoughts, pause and ask yourself, are you pointing out a flaw just for the sake of it? Or are you contributing something thoughtful? And most importantly, is there something you can appreciate as well? Remember, every piece of content online is someone's work. Whether it's a photo, a song, a blog post, or a short video, someone invested themselves in it. Someone invested time, precious time in it. So let's give credit where it's due and balance our critical eye with a bit of grace. Because yes, we can all be critics, but wouldn't it be better to also be a source of encouragement? Well, think about it, my friends. Food for thought. And of course, I would love to hear what you think in the comments below so that we can start a conversation about this. That'll be the end of our editorial for this week. And with that being said, I would like to thank you very much for watching the video. And remember, never stop learning with English Plus Podcast.